All right, welcome back. I have a product in front of me that I thought I would never purchase because I don't use an iPhone. I'll tell you why. My daily driver is a Note 8 from Samsung, and if you know anything about USB on the go, typically you can connect to your flight controller through your phone through the SpeedyBee app with an on-the-go adapter and a Android-based device. This isn't true with Apple products. For some reason, their ability to use the USB port is locked out for some reason. I don't know the details on it, but I know you can't do it with Apple devices. So I figured, why on earth would I ever need the SpeedyBee Bluetooth USB adapter that they sell? Well, turns out I think I have a power brick that keeps killing my USB-C port on my phone. So I can't do on the go, I can't do fast charge anymore. I've got a brick that's murdering my phone. I'm on my second phone, and they'll work good for a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore. So I'm in the process of purging my house of all of my charging bricks just to be able to make sure I don't have a bad one anymore. So weird things happen. Yeah, every time I'm trying to connect to my flight controller, I'm in the field and it doesn't work. And it's so frustrating because I don't bring my laptop because of the fact that I know that I can connect to my flight controller with Betaflight using the SpeedyBee app and my on-the-go cable. It's a super compact package. So that brings me to this. Because I always seem to be stranded, not being able to connect to my flight controller, I went ahead and picked one of these up. Not only does it seem like a pretty cool device, but it wouldn't hurt. If my buddy a couple chairs over needs to do some tuning on his flight controller and he's got an iOS device, I can toss him this thing. So, anyways, let's bust it open and take a look. Comes in a nice little plastic box, but that's a box. Who gives two what's about it? Here is the actual device. Very well packaged. Looks pretty darn simple, but I know it's not. So here you've got some solder pads to connect a power cord, either XT60, 30, whatever you want to power this with. That would connect here. This little squiggly thing here, that is your Bluetooth antenna. And then there's the typical micro USB port for connecting to your flight controller. I don't know of any flight controller that doesn't use a micro USB, but this has micro USB. And then inside of the box we have, this is pretty nice. I figured I'd have to supply my own USB or my own XT60 cable, which is what I would use as a XT60. I do fly some XT30 batteries, but for the vast majority it's the XT60. So they give you an XT60 with a small length of wire pre-soldered to it, that's super nice of them. And then some clear heat shrink that is cut just to length to cover all the bits with the pixies in them. All right, what else we got here? We've got some instructions, and in the instructions, let's see, what does it tell us? Let's see, it tells us where to download the SpeedyBee app on iOS or Android. Runs off 3 to 6S, 9 to 26 volts. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Pretty straightforward. It does tell you what the ID is when you look for it in your Bluetooth. It's SBBUA_. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get this sucker put together. I grab my handy dandy vise here. And if anybody's curious about this vise, the STL for it is on Thingiverse. Just search for vise and you will find it. Don't do the lazy thing and just ask me to link a STL to it. Go ahead and find it yourself. It's not hard. So, yeah, just hook that up there, and I'm going to fire up my favorite soldering iron here, the TS80. Still putting it through its paces to give you a nice review on this. But if anybody's considering buying this over the TS100 or even really a Heiko, like the 888D, man, I think I'd go with this guy here. And the only reason I say that is because I have all three of those, and I really find myself gravitating towards the TS80. Yeah, if you're gonna buy one, buy this guy. If you're gonna buy two, buy this and the Heiko 888D. So let's go ahead and crank it up to 11 here. Get a little more hot. Let's go ahead and tin these up a little bit here. The only thing I'm not really a big fan of this soldering iron, and I know I should say this for the review, but I'll tell you now, is I didn't get the kit with all the extra goodies. I bought the cheapest one I could find. I really wish I would have spent the extra money and got the bigger kit, because it comes with an extra tip, the chisel tip, which I prefer instead of this little pencil guy, the case, and all the other goodies that come with it. So let's go ahead and just get this kind of tacked into place there. There we go. And let's get the negative. Just kind of. Now, this isn't my final soldering job. It's just kind of get into a place where I can work on it. There we go. Man, I love soldering. It's therapeutic for me. I don't know why. Call me insane or crazy, but I do like it. I do it quite a bit at work too. And I'm starting to think everybody at work knows that I like doing it, because whenever there's solder jobs to be done, they kind of just gravitate towards me. And there we go. I think that's going to be about it. And I'm going to go ahead and tin up the other side. One of the things they teach you in school about soldering is to tin all bare pads. Prevents corrosion. Not that I'm worried about corrosion, but, you know, old habits die hard. They also tell you the 3 C's of soldering are clean, clean, clean. You can never clean enough. Clean the pads, clean your solder, clean your work afterwards. All right, so that is that. That's all soldered up, good to go. And if anybody has not seen me solder, something that most people won't tell you, when you're done soldering, clean your tip off really good with whatever means you have. If you just got a paper towel and some isopropyl alcohol, clean it up. Go ahead and put a small blob of solder on the end of your soldering iron and shut it off. What that blob of solder on the end of your soldering iron will do is it will keep oxygen from getting to the bare metal on your tip, and it'll prevent it from oxidizing. When it oxidizes, that's when it pits and then becomes, well, very difficult to solder with. You don't get the heat transfer that you would normally get. And inside solder is flux. Flux can be corrosive. If you know that your flux is not corrosive, then you don't have to worry about it. But since I'm not 100% sure, a little gun brush, toothbrush will work fine, and some isopropyl alcohol will help remove whatever leftover bits of flux are on there. Get our heat shrink on here. And heat it up. slow and warm is always better than hot and fast. And we'll just make sure we seal the ends up real good. Okay. We might have to trim off a little bit of this excess heat shrink there. We'll see about that. All right. So now I have the quad. Let's go and plug this in. All right, that plugs in just fine. I will go ahead and start up my SpeedyBee app here. Okay. Now let's plug her in. Click on Bluetooth. All right, here it is. That's it. That's awesome. It works perfect. And it works just the same as connecting with a on-the-go cable, but for my case, this is going to be more reliable just because my USB-C port on my phone, I think, is she's cooked again. Not a problem with Samsung, but a problem with a charging brick that I have. All right, and that's it. And inside that SpeedyBee app, you have all the functionality of Betaflight, with one exception that I know of. I don't believe you get the GPS menu. I had one quad with GPS, and SpeedyBee would never bring up any of the satellite functions. But they may have changed that in different versions of the SpeedyBee app. I can't confirm that. If anybody knows, please put that in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And if you know how to fix this stupid USB on-the-go fast charge not working on Samsung devices, I'd love to know that one. I'm tired of exchanging these things for new phones. Anyways, so I hope you found that informative. I for what it is, I mean, it works. That's really all I can say about it. Is it just frickin' works, which is all it needs to do, is just work. If you like what I'm doing here, go ahead and, if you wouldn't mind, please click the like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Click the bell. I'm trying to put together some good content for everybody in a straightforward, no BS fashion. Just giving you what you need to know and saving the rest for another day. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.